Something major happened today. A 9/11 terrorist was convicted in federal court. Suleiman Abu Ghaith, a son-in-law of Osama bin Laden and a former al-Qaeda spokesman, was found guilty this morning of conspiring to kill Americans and of providing material support for terrorists on September 11th. Last week, Abu Ghaith took the stand and denied that he had any specific knowledge that the September 11th attacks would occur. This, despite the fact that Abu Ghaith was seen sitting next to bin Laden and other al-Qaeda leaders in a video in which they took credit for the September 11th attacks the day after they happened. This trial makes Abu Ghaith the most senior al-Qaeda official to be tried in civilian court. He now faces up to life in prison. But his conviction also demonstrates the power of the American criminal justice system. Abu Ghaith was held in a federal prison and tried in a courtroom in Lower Manhattan. He is proof that our courts work, and he is a useful, if painful, reminder to those who would prefer to keep alleged terrorist masterminds locked away in prisons that operate independent of the United States judicial system, like the 154 detainees in Guantanamo Bay, and especially the 45 men who are being held indefinitely without charge.
Okay, folks, this video's a stinking joke. Never heard so much propaganda in 1 minute and 20 seconds of my whole life. You know, propping up the legitimacy of the kangaroo courts. The brown religious boogeymen are out to get you. I'm sorry, but if you stick me in a room with any political leader on the planet, I'll get him to confess to the 9/11 attacks, the Boston bombings, Fukushima, Hurricane Katrina, you name it. They'll confess to anything you want if you torture them. So, I'm sorry, anything this bozo may or may not have confessed to, I'm sorry, if you're so naive to think that they didn't waterboard this guy, come on now. I mean, don't take my word for it. You know, listen to what former Governor Jesse Ventura had to say about their interrogation techniques.
Their investigative techniques are torturing. It's wrong. Why do you think they don't allow torture from police departments? Because it's not credible. If you get a suspect and you bring them into a room and you torture them, well, guess what? They're going to say whatever will stop the torture. That's why it's not credible. Like this Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, this guy they're holding at Gitmo, who allegedly confessed to being the ringleader of 9/11. Well, then it turns out the truth of the matter, they waterboarded him 100 and some times. I don't forget the exact number, 140, 170, whatever it was. Well, I got news for you. Anyone out there, if they were waterboarded that many times, each and every one of us would confess to 9/11. I made my famous quote that made it to Yale when I was on with Larry King. I said, if you give me a waterboard Dick Cheney in 1 hour, I will have him confess to the Sharon Tate murders. Simple as that. Well, that's what you get with torture. Torture is not credible. That's why we don't allow our police forces to torture. That's why you can't torture a suspect, because the information you get from it will be completely unreliable. Completely. They will say whatever it takes to stop the torture.
A 2005 CIA memo claimed.
Okay. I mean, if you've seen the movie Iron Man 3, I think it is, they make up this fake terrorist leader called the Mandarin. It's basically the same thing, you know. And it's funny that he even made into something as mainstream as a movie. You know, that people behind the scenes creating this false boogeyman to make everybody scared. And, you know, did this guy confess to the bomb, the attacks after 9/11, as this video claims? I'd like to see that video. As a matter of fact, I'd like to have a couple different people give me a translation, not what the talking head on TV has to say, the gatekeeper. All right, thanks for watching.